All right, Shalom. Shalom, first and foremost. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor, which is due unto Yahweh, Bashmi Yahushai, Basham Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great most honorable well, and taught me this truth. And Shalom to the elect of Yahushai, the elect of Israel, starting with 144,000. And I'm just going for a walk. So I thought I'll do a walk and talk and just kind of go in the spirit, whatever comes to mind. Now, first thing I was thinking about was the scripture that says, though I be rude in speech, but not in knowledge. Okay? And that was the Apostle Paul speaking. And pretty much, we live in a society that is, the men have become like women, and everything, people get easily offended at things, people get emotional, which if you're gonna serve Yahweh Shmi Shai, the scripture's talking about judgment, righteous judgment, so you got to put the emotions to the side. When the scriptures tell you something, when you read the scripture, right? Because remember, we're all coming from the world, the filth of the world, okay? Which the world, is pushes feminism. The world pushes for men to be soft, to be full of estrogen, to be like women. So, when you come across this truth and you read in the scriptures, the scriptures, when you're reading the scriptures, man, you're learning how to serve the Lord, how to become a man to serve Yahweh Shmi Shai, like a man of the Lord, right? But in order for you to do that, you can't be can't be bitch made, basically, and I'll speak for myself. I'll just speak for myself. Coming from the world, although both my father and my mother have both been in my life, my father was hardly ever around. He was just doing what he was doing. So mainly I got raised by my mother, and when you get raised by your mother, you become soft. If I was raised by my father, in terms of if he was always around and he was the one raising me, let's say my mother wasn't around, I'd probably be a bit more, probably would have been a bit more manly, But through the grace of Yahweh Shmi Shai, coming into this truth, okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shmi Shai, through understanding the scriptures, through the guidance by our leadership, our apostles, our bishops, our elders on down, we have real masculine leadership giving us examples of how to be a man in this truth, because I remember when I first watched the apostles, I was watching the videos, and it's not that I was offended at what they were saying. I just had this worldly mentality that, if you're like a holy man, then you gotta come a certain way. Then the scriptures say, that's why people in the world, they say, it's prophesying to me smooth things. Okay? That's why the Apostle Paul said, though I be rude in speech, but not in knowledge. Okay? It's about what is being said. And another thing is, and I'm saying this for edification, to show you that, if you thought that, it's not the end of the world. It's just, that's because you're in the world. That's because you've just come across this truth, right? Let me just wait a second. People are impatient, man. You can see I'm coming on the pavement and there's a bike on his left. You can't just wait, slow down. So I didn't know whether he wanted to hit me or hit the bike. He's driving a red car. I seen the guy in there sitting there with Just, anyway, forget about him. Right? The point is that these people are just, they're just whacked out of their mind, man. These people are just whacked out of their mind. Everyone's impatient. Everyone's emotional. Everyone's chasing after something, money, women, whatever it might be. Yeah, that's why the Lord has to come and destroy this place, man. Okay, there's no common decency. That's scarce, man. Because you got a bunch of fucking emotional rats raised by women going around and just basically just getting triggered by each other. Trying to one-up each other all the time. Anyway, a little bit of a rant. Okay, let me bring it back, man. Yeah, the point I was trying to say that if you've ever watched any of the videos and you kind of took that, remember, okay, the men of the Lord come from all walks of life. Okay, like for example, case in point, you had the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul spoke multiple languages. Okay, he spoke Greek. All right, he spoke Hebrew. So, multiple languages. So when and why was that? Because he was classically trained. He was trained. Okay, he was taught. He was a learned man. All right. Now, let's look at the apostles. The apostles Peter, for example. Okay, Peter and John. And Peter was a fisherman. He was a laborer. Okay, he had no training, and he was quite simple in a sense. When Yahweh Shai, when Yahweh Shai came across him. But that's Peter. That's the head of the church. Okay, and that's why it's Peter didn't have that kind of background as the Apostle Paul did, but Peter was still deep in the spirit. Okay, the head of the church. So it's not about how eloquent of an orator or how well someone can speak or what kind of educational background they got. See, with Jake, whenever they look at these pastors, they always got to be wearing these suits. They got to look prim and proper. The men of the Lord, the real men of the Lord, okay, the prophets ain't going to come like that. Look at John the Baptist. It was rough, man. Out in the wild, okay. He was rough. And people were coming to him, he was baptizing them, man. All right. When they spoke about Yahweh Shai, he said he's an austere man. Okay. Austere is like severe, man. Serious. Austere is like serious. Okay. Not always just smiling and See, Jake like a gimmick. They go to these pastors. That's why the scriptures say, prophesy unto us smooth things. That's what Israel want. They want someone to give them smooth things, not the harshness of the scriptures, which is the truth, the reality. Okay? They want to hear things that satisfy their own lusts and their own agendas, rather than adhering onto what Yahweh Shai has got to say. All right? And I'll just say, because I mentioned earlier that when I first came across the videos and I was learning, okay, I'm talking about the first, maybe the first video I ever seen, right? And I felt that jolt of emotion, that worldly emotion trying to get to me. But you know what, man? At the end of the day, okay, which there was a brother who kind of like said, he even quoted that rude in speech. Okay, because there's a brother who in the camp, okay, the brother Amawan, who introduced me to the truth. He was the one that told me about it first and then linked me to the apostles' videos. We were kind of going into showing me some scriptures. The Spirit put the Lord put the Spirit on him to do that, man. So that's beautiful, And pretty much I got over that quick because you know what? I couldn't deny the things that were being said though. And over time, so when the spirit kicks in, man, forget feeling emotional. You just into it, man. You in the spirit of it. And before long, man, before long, you find yourself in the camp teaching, man, because that's the spirit of Yahweh Shemiel Shai putting it on us to do that. That's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiel Shai. You know, that's a beautiful thing. And you know, I know I'm just kind of roughly paraphrasing the scriptures. You know, I've got the Urim that I'm using as a camera. I'm just walking, and I'm just kind of Lord willing, this is edifying in the spirit of power of Yahweh Shemiel Shai. I'm just trying to. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build up the faith of the church. You know, with these lessons. That's what we're being commanded to do. Let the scriptures say, "Let all things be done unto edifying." So that's why I said, look, let me share that. I didn't know I was going to share that. I didn't know I was going to speak about that, but I said, let me share that, you know, to show you that, you know, this walk, you know, there's things of the world that we got to chip away at. So that's one thing I had to chip away from, of the world, that easily getting offended at bitch-made spirit. Okay, and through the grace and power of Yahweh Shemiel Shai did. Okay. You know, you might have, let's say for example, you might have had a certain diet in the world. You might have always been eating candy bars and just, you know, just shit, the things that ain't good for you, right? Rather than some good wholesome meals. But when you come in the truth, the scriptures say you got to know what's good for your soul. When you come in the truth, you know, it talks about exercise, bodily exercise, profit of little. Okay, it talks about a little wine for thy stomach's sake. It talks about herbs. You're not abhor them. He that is wise, not abhor them. So you gotta think, well, you know what, man? I gotta change up. Remember, the scriptures say that we put away the old man and we renewed, but the new man is renewed day by day through the Spirit. What's the new man? It's a new man in Yahweh Shai, an Israelite. And what does the word Israel mean? He, a prince of the power. I hope that I'm walking past a busy dual carriageway road at the moment. I'm hoping that it's not going to pick up all this noise for ages. It's rush hour right now. I just finished work. So I'm going to try and speak up a little, you know. I'm going to try and speak up, and Lord willing, it picks up. You know, Lord willing, man. It's about faith. So yeah, the point is, you got to be changed in the renewing of your mind. You might read a scripture. Oh, here's another example. Someone might, you know, in this society, especially over here in England, right? Okay, man, this place loves pork. They be pushing that pork, bacon, this and that, right? Now I never grew up eating that stuff like that. I, in the world, I tried it, you know, a couple times, but because my family, they have a Muslim background, they were never into it, and I was never into it. You know, more so in terms of abominations, they be eating stuff like calamari, things like that, prawns. You know, now you come into the truth, and that demon gets lifted off you, and you realize, oh shit, this stuff is an abomination, man. I've been eating abominations. I've been going off. That's not what a prince of the power should be doing. That's what a heathen does. So we've coming out from that. Remember the scriptures say, in the past you were Gentiles. Why? Because we were all in that Gentile state of mind. Through the seed we're Israel, but we all came out of that Gentile state of mind. Every single one of us. Okay? This truth came out of America. Every single one of us came out of that Gentile state of mind. Now some of us, you know, there's some exceptions where you had some members of the truth who were born knowing they were in a family where their father and mother knew they were Israel. You get exceptions like that, right? So you got some sort of an idea, you know. But pretty much, we all come from that kind of background. So you gotta chip away at that, you know? Start eating healthy, start looking after yourself, you know? You gotta do a lot of studying. You know, the world don't push that. They just push entertainment, you know, go party, go here, go there. The scriptures say, study to show thyself to be approved, a workman that need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. 2 Timothy 2:15. Beautiful scripture, right? So you gotta study. You gotta stay sharp, man. You know, I'm always getting on myself because sometimes I'm not a human encyclopedia. I don't always know. I can paraphrase the scripture. I can quote the scripture. I might not always know exactly what book or if I know the book, I might not know the exact verse or the chapter, or if I know the chapter, not the exact verse, you know? And I'm always getting on myself because the scriptures say, examine thyself, whether I be in the faith. You know, I'm always I'm examining and thinking, oh man, I need to study more, you know? That's another thing. Self-examination. Because most of the time in its truth, you know, you're on your own. You know, throughout the week or whatever, you might get together with the brothers or whatever to teach, but you're on your own. And you know, you're not always gonna have a brother there to notice something to bring it up to you. You know, brother, I noticed this. You shouldn't, you know, maybe you shouldn't do that, this and that. You know, and go back. There was another way that I wanted to go. I'm going to go that way. Okay. It's kind of getting dark as well. But Lord willing, I'm just going to keep going until while the light's out. You know, the days are getting longer now. The sun's setting a bit later. You know, by the time I finished work, it was already dark before. You know, we're in the winter months. But I said, hey man, I'm still able to catch a bit of light. Let me go and do a walk. Let me do a video, you know. And like I said, man, so you know, it's a walk and talk. I'm just going off the whatever comes to my mind, you know. And I pray to Yahweh Bashmi Shai, it's edifying. Yahweh Bashmi Shai, Bashem Kakadash Ra'azah. You know. Yeah, so. You know, I'm going to switch gears a bit and I'm going to speak about pretty much this time that we're in. Okay. You know, we're not here to get comfortable in this world. Okay, as it is written in Micah the 2nd chapter and the 10th verse, this is not your rest. This place is polluted. It will destroy you with a sword of destruction. Okay. Comfort is that's the enemy in this truth, you know. And I'll be the first to admit I'm guilty of you know, enjoying them comforts. Okay, but more and more, you know, more and more as I'm growing in this truth, I'm shedding away at that, you know, through the grace and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. And it's making I know that it's making me tougher, you know, tougher in the mind, to mentally grow, to be able to deal with things. You know, the scriptures talk about knowledge and wisdom being the stability of thy times. All right. Oh, I was talking about emotion earlier. Well, you got something called stoicism. Now, when you're a stoic, the way you deal with hardships and the way you deal with things, first of all, you're like a disciplinarian, right? In order for you to push this word through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, the Lord got to put a spirit of discipline in you. Because if you're just kicking back, you in the house, right? 1 week goes by, 2 weeks go by, you're just there like resting. You know that? Lord gonna get rid of you, man. That's lukewarm. You know? We out there every week through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai teaching this word. Let me move to the side. There's cars coming. Every week, right? It might be raining, it's cold. To say Proverbs 20:4, the sluggard will not plow for reason of the cold. Now we're gonna be plowing, man. All right. Now you get some exceptions where there's a all-out snowstorm, and no one out there. You know, you can have an accident on the way there. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's why we sometimes we do in the car or we do indoor ministries. But then throughout the week we're doing these lessons, right? What did Yahweh Shai say? He said daily in the temple. I was there. So we got that daily mentality to the best of our ability, you know, to hasten the return of the Yahweh Shai. And that takes what? Discipline. It takes a stoic mindset, you know, to put away from the comforts and to study, you know, to sacrifice. You got to sacrifice, man. It takes sacrifice. Sacrifice your time. Sacrifice your body, you know. You out there standing for hours. You know, we're getting old, man. Okay? In this wicked kingdom, with this concrete covered kingdom, man. You might sacrifice loved ones, all right? You might be dealing with, let's say you be dealing with a chick, and you know that this chick ain't good for you in this truth. You gotta cut it off, you know? Now obviously, that's down to the spirit. You know, that don't mean that you're just gonna, you know, a woman that you're dealing with does one thing wrong, you a goner, you know. You can have a scriptures talk about an unbelieving wife. You know, your wife don't have to believe, okay? She don't have to believe, okay? As long as, you know, you do what you can do, and it ain't hindering you, then you're good, you know. That's why the scriptures say if she goes not the way you want, give her a bit of divorce, right? You know, I had a couple women I dealt with in this truth, you know, and ultimately I had to cut them off because they did me dirty, man. All right, they did me dirty, and that was unacceptable. So you cut them off, man. You know, and you keep it pushing. So that's loss. You know, family members you might have got along with before, you can't be around them no more. They either got a problem with you, or they're just straight out wicked, man. I don't want to be around them. Because people get demons. So sacrifice. You got to sacrifice things in this truth. You know? The Lord requires that. Romans the 12th chapter in the first verse. I'll make my body what? A living sacrifice. Okay? Holy and acceptable unto the Lord. Going uphill, I can feel it working. I'll be honest, man. You know, I work sitting down. I got like an office job. I'm sedentary quite most of the time, but I've been trying to exercise. You know, doing stretching and things like that. And I watched a little bit of Apostle Kabar's video. I haven't watched all of it, but he mentioned about the sedentary lifestyle. How that ain't good for you, basically, man. You know. And I'm gonna stop here for a minute because I don't want to go there on that path yet. There's people there and they walk the dogs. It's gonna get busy. Stay here for a minute. You know, show you what. Yeah, I'm in the middle of some fields, man. You know. But yeah, pretty much. You know, I just watched a little bit of the video just to kind of get the gist. Or when I go back to it. But yeah, I'm trying to fight that, man. See, it's always a fight. The scriptures say spiritual warfare. Everything's a fight. Chipping away at the old man. Every day, trying to become, scriptures say, mark the perfect man. Yahweh Shai is the perfect man. Trying to become more Yahweh Shai-like. To be more in tune with Yahweh Shai. Okay? To be more in tune with these scriptures. To better yourself in the spirit. Not in this world. Right? Not leveling up in this world. You know? Yeah, you know, yeah, I'm gonna get the bigger car, the bigger house. I'm gonna make this contract and that contract, get this job and that. and build up that business. But you can have a business in this truth. You know, you could do that. But it's your mindset. Are you trying to put more in your barn and investing in this place, more and more heaping in this place, or are you just getting by with what you've got, what the Lord's given you, and you're invested in the truth? Give us today our daily bread. That's the mentality. So it's about your intent. What's your intent? What are you coming with? You know? That's what it's about, man. So, you know, yeah, man. So I was saying that, you know, it's a battle. You gotta keep trying. And you know, the main thing is prayer. Prayer, man. Praying to Yahweh Shemel Shai. Wherever it might be. You know, it's good to say not to be ignorant or anything great or small. Pray to the Lord, man. In all things, whatever you need. It's good to say pray without ceasing. So if you're praying without ceasing, you're constantly praying. You're praying when you leave in the house, Lord, get me home safely. Yahweh Shemel Shai Ratazah. Lord willing, I hope you might do a video, Lord willing. And I gotta do that more. I gotta pray more. You might be doing a video, oh Lord, I hope this is, Lord willing, please put a spirit on me so this can be an edifying lesson. So the church may be edified. Okay, you might be going through a certain situation. You pray to the Lord, Lord, has switched that up, man. That just happened to me recently. Okay? That happened to me recently. I ain't gonna go into it. But all I gotta say is that Yahweh Shemel Shai came through. Okay? Rock to Yahweh Shemel Shai, always, man. The Lord, the Lord, it's good to say in Wisdom, the 3rd chapter, the Lord has cared for his elect. No doubt, man. Didn't he say that we're worth more than many sparrows? The Lord looks after the sparrows. How much more us, man? Come on, man. It's a small thing for the Lord to do that, man. All right, man. You know, I believe this lesson has run its course, and I hope that it's been edifying in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai B'Hashem Kadash. With that, man, you know, I'm going to say shalom. Shalom to the elect. Stay strong.